Fable 2 is an action-adventure RPG that is a creation of ambitious people with artistic intentions, is how I would describe my feelings of this game. As an outsider of this game series who didn't play this game until 2023, it opened my mind of what a game can do. I'm not saying Fable 2 is groundbreaking or revolutionized the game industry, but what it made me do as the player, which is read, as in the game made me start reading, and I read a Fable novel of the same game universe. It made me curious about the world that Fable 2 had, and it made me want to know more. Not many games have really done that to me. Before beginning any further discussions, I'm playing the Game of the Year edition of the game as it has more quests and locations. The story of Fable 2 begins as the player lives in Squirrel with his sister, who wishes for nothing more than to live in Lucian's castle. When the showman seller comes to Bowerstone and shows magical items to the townspeople, a woman by the name of Teresa offers some insight on a magical box that grants one wish, which helps your sister want to pursue that magic box even more. Your task is to get the box in any way you can, by helping locals or local businesses to get some coin. Finally, your chances for one wish are coming to reality, but sadly it was a fluke. Or was it? The same night Lucian's guards come to pick you up from your shack, you and your sister finally found your home and new life. But soon Lucian's real plans come to play as he seeks to control magic and stop any heroes in his way from creating a new world and order. He finds out that one of us are the possible fourth hero. So, Lucian shoots your sister in front of your eyes, leaving you to also get shot, the impact causing the window to shatter as you fall to your death lying on a freezing ground. A familiar person appears to come to your aid and brings you to her home at the gypsy camp. You grow up to learn and train to take your revenge on Lucian. With your adventure starting, you'll need to find more members to join you in this plan. Lucian's actions of him killing your sister, and almost you, was to stop anyone that gets in his way of his research. What I liked about this opening was that later on in the game, you will see your impact as a child grow to see what Bowerstone will be later on in the game.
Have you found them? Thanks. You're a lifesaver. Now, normally, justice is its own reward, but as these aren't normal circumstances, there's your gold piece. Arrest warrants. I broke up Nicky the Nickname's whole crew, and Lord Lucian made me sheriff. Of course, then he disappeared. But crime is way down, and urban renewal has transformed this neighbourhood into the most desirable district in Bowerstone.
world of Albion is vast and open. I really appreciate the visuals of the game a lot. I think Bowerstone Market is my favorite place in the game, as its nice compressed industrial zone and residential area that is full of personality. The way the world looks is beautiful when it comes to the lighting through some areas like Oakfield, Bowerstone, and Oakvale, just strong environments that help bring life to them. The world of Albion has glorious and lush environments. I did feel lost sometimes as specific quests wanted to go back to certain areas looked a little bit similar at times. Fast traveling in the game was really useful though. It sometimes felt like that the fast traveling locations weren't the best, as it only takes you halfway through those locations. I understand that the game wants you to explore and not just fast travel locations. Westcliff and Bloodstones are examples of places that fast travel systems would have helped a lot, as they take you to places further away than the actual location. When clicking on locations, you get to see a list of stores that are there in that location, but it wasn't as useful as I hoped. I think Fable 3 did a better job at the map, and fast traveling helped with not getting lost or confused. This game has a strong sense of charm throughout it. I think where the charm really shows is after you either get money or renown points. I think the quest that really shines through that game's personality is when you're helping a farmer trying to find a woman for his son.
I'm getting too old for this life. Which is why I'm thinking of giving it up. You know, leaving the whole place to my son. A place he can settle down with a nice girl, raise a family. Like the one we were before my poor Jenny was taken from us. Of course, that isn't looking too likely. You see, my boy, he's a sweet kid. He just don't have much luck with the ladies. I've done my best to help. Even tried setting him up with a considerate town lass. It didn't work out, that. Hasn't even spoken to a girl since. You're a man of the world. You know what women are after, don't you? Maybe you could find him a girl. A nice city girl. He doesn't seem too keen on the ones around here.
Look, you can tell him I'm not meeting any more of his floozies. I know how much he wants me to find a wife and settle down, but I can't be something I'm not. I don't want to get married to a woman. Any woman, you understand? I want to tell him, you know. Maybe he'd understand, but I just can't. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I know it hasn't been the same since your mother died, but we do all right, don't we? Ah. Did you have any luck, my friend?
Yay! I bet nobody makes you take a bath once a week, do they?
So, is she pretty? I bet she is. Well, did our friend here help you find a nice girl, then?
He helped me find a date, yes.
Great news! Finally, my lad has got himself a woman.
Yeah, looks like it.
You don't seem too happy about it, son. What's wrong?
This is wrong. I'm sorry, I can't go through with this. I just can't.
But why?
Listen, Dad, I should have told you this a long time ago. I don't like girls.
What do you mean you don't like it? Oh. What a bloody idiot I am. Of course, I should have known. I mean, the way you ran out on Sonia. And there was me thinking she didn't fancy you.
Are you kidding? She was all over me. I had to fight her off with a rake.
I had heard she was a bit forward. That's why I set you up with her.
Oh, Dad, it was the most traumatic night of my life.
So, you really don't like girls?
No, don't really care that much for farming either.
Oh, right. I see. What will you do then?
Well, I have always wanted to live in a city.
I guess it'll be just me in this old farm then.
Don't be silly. I'm not going to leave you here alone. Sell it. Come with me.
Do you really mean that?
Of course.
Well, so long as he's happy, suppose I am too. Once again, I owe you a great deal. It goes without saying, if you're interested in the farm, I'll give you a good price, rather than it went to someone I trust.
This quest definitely shows the game not being afraid at the time to talk about it. Things like this show the game's personality in full swing, as it likes to take the player by surprise. This is a really cool moment that made me go, oh shit, when I first played the game.
Oh yes, bravo! A virtuoso performance! Simply wonderful!
Every town or village you come to, people will either hate, like, or feel neutral about you. It's all about how you want them to think of you. This playthrough I played was pretty good, though I did some evil things like raising rent for people and buying up all businesses for gold. I enjoyed the small details of having Roland sing about your previous adventures to people.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
The hero strode into a cave, which soon did start to misbehave. A nice big girl by the name of Hannah went into and came out a hammer.
Good one.
A ghost full of anger was after revenge. The hero found love, but it was all just pretend. Except that it wasn't, and now they are wed. Let's hope they are happy for the sake of the dead.
How'd you get to be so rich anyway?
The hero waded through swamp and ruin, a place where life just can't get going.
Nothing but a slum.
Survived the mire and killed a banshee, and got to Bloodstone in time for tea.
Someplace else, you bloody dog.
But Hero was tasked with clearing Rook Ridge of bandits who'd gone and hijacked the bridge. The people of Oakfield joined in the chorus, but the best thankulations came from a thesaurus.
Marriage is another mechanic of Fable 2, as it helps build a stronger relationship for the game's world. Once I was married, I knew that there were new openings, like having kids or divorcing your wife. Though I personally would have loved to see them push further with side quests like having your wife wanting certain dates with you, though I would understand that would be really annoying for the player, as it maybe would have ruined the mood, but I think it still could have been a fun quest. I think another great thing was having your son travel around by himself while he's a little kid and trying to be like you, and you would have to go rescue him, and I think that was a really fun part of the game. The 5 main characters who are part of the main story are Teresa, Hammer, Garth, Reaver, and Lucian. Teresa is a woman who saved you as a child and sees you becoming a hero and helps guide you along the way through the game, explaining the world or big decisions in the game. Teresa guides you to 3 characters to help you on your journey to Lucian. Hammer is a daughter of a monk who is more of an outsider in her community, wanting to solve problems and not waiting around.
Is that it then? My father's gone. The Golden Oak is flourishing again. So now life just goes on as before, does it?
The next character who helps you along the journey is Garth, a will user who used to work for Lucian, but once realized what Lucian's plans to use the Spire, which has caused many deaths and suffering to those who have lost their lives, Garth left Lucian to focus on his own research. Lucian considered Garth a threat to his plans and was captured to be used as a slave to help build the Spire. Reaver is the last character you grab to help on your adventure. While you notice his riches and luxurious lifestyle, it comes at a price of his moral compass. You can tell what he's like the minute you come to visit his mansion.
Turn to its rightful owners in Wraithmarsh. They live in an enchanting place called the Shadow Court. I do it myself, but my relationship with the owners is complicated.
Combat in this game isn't the best, but I still enjoyed it regardless. I just thought the one-button system wasn't the best for this game, as you could have done some cool stuff with other buttons on the controller. The way I was playing this game was just a one-button system made the combat tedious. I knew there was a way to do intricate moves with the left stick, but I never got the hang of it. A highlight to me of combat was the magic play in the game. I did Force Push as my main magical ability, as it personally is my favorite thing to do. It felt very satisfying just obliterating enemies with the Force Push. Not Whole Island was added as DLC in the game of January 13th, 2009. As a DLC location, it was very nice, but it was a little repetitive just coming back to changing the weather and talking to the leader of the island. It was cool seeing the environment change and reading the lore of the island was neat. I thought that was a great part of making that island feel alive. I did enjoy getting items like new clothes and locations you can buy and rent. While I'm no expert on music in general, I would say that the music in this game fits every location perfectly. It's ambient and orchestral that really helps build the world a lot. Russell Shaw, who did the work, with Danny Elfman doing the intro song, really made my enjoyment of this game better. It's not something I would listen to outside of the game, but my personal favorite track is Bower Lake. Just the flute is beautiful. This section of the game stood out to me. You play as your younger self with Rose waking you up to have a fun day. This quest was really nice, as being in this farmland with this bright and colorful environment, making you feel happy seeing your sister after all this hell you're going through to take your revenge. Your sister Rose isn't really brought up in the middle of the game besides Garth saying he was sorry about your loss at the guild. It makes you realize what's happened to your life after her death as the hero. What makes it even better is that after defeating Lucian, you're given a letter from Rose. She talks about the place similar to that perfect world that you and her were in, saying she hopes to see you one day. After reading that letter, it made me appreciate that section even more, since it wasn't a one-off moment. It ties in the game's final moments. Hearing about the new Fable game really excited me, as it's been 12 years since we got any Fable game. The game looks beautiful like any other CGI game trailer looks these days. We haven't seen much more besides the teaser and only trailer. I think the controversy of the characters' looks in this recent trailer is ridiculous. They should look at the Fable 2's concept art of women in that game, as it's not what the anti-woke crowd would consider beautiful. What am I hoping for in this new game? Well, this might sound crazy, but why not add the stuff that Peter Molyneux wanted in the original Fables? Well, that he lied about. I would personally love to see the idea of carving your initials on trees and having those markings stay on the trees. The dreaded acorn that you can plant and see it grow slowly over time. While I'm possibly worried you won't be able to customize your character in the new game, I'm still thankful that the series is being revived in some way. As of writing this, Peter Molyneux is working on a new God game, which is a spin-off of the Fable universe, which shows he still really loves these games. I played a very small bit of Black and White 2, and so I'm curious about how Masters of Albion will play out. I want to thank everybody for watching this new style of video. If you like this new form of content, please let me know in the comments. Any comments are appreciated, any likes, of course. If this is your first time ever seeing a video like this, please like and subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Have a good day, and happy holidays.